Hey everybody, BTO Pro here. Today I'm going to show you something that if you followed any of our videos along this journey previously, you know is a thing. Now, this is another example of the critical nature of web standards, headless technologies, whatever you want to call it. So I demoed this as a capability in, oh gosh, probably 2017. We've just kind of, it's sat there. It's kind of sat on the sidelines. But every time I go back to it, it gets better because the standard and the browser implementing it have gotten better. However, our implementation hasn't changed, which I think is super interesting. So this is a lesser known setting in HAX. It's always something on the back burner that we're kind of playing with. It bounces around my head all the time. So what am I talking about? Let's hit the edit button. All right, there's all these tabs. Whoop-de-doo. Under settings, the very first setting, and now we have these other settings, right? We've demoed these recently, light mode, translation, things like that. There's always been this setting that says experimental voice-based control system. I don't know how many people have actually selected it. So let's dig into the actual structure here as to what that is. What can you call with your voice? So I'm going to do a window dot HAX store dot instance dot, and I know it's voice commands. So what we're looking at here is a listing of all of the potential voice commands. Now the name of HAX, because HAX is a difficult, you have to pick like a keyword, trigger word, whatever you want to think of it, something that it's listening for, right? Kind of like when you say, hey, Google, and if you have that activated, your phone or whatever, it goes like, doo-doo, I'm listening. Or Xbox turn on, like those types of statements if you've used any voice-based interface. So you need a word, right? So in what we're doing here, you can see we've actually integrated a library that helps augment this. It's called Anyang. And so these little braces imply that it is a optional word. Now you don't have to yell the word worker every time. That's just the name we've given HAX for the purposes of this prototype, which is built into the real thing that we ship everywhere, and you can turn it on at any time with the click of a button. So we just don't work this way necessarily. So these are all the possible commands. Now you'll notice that the insert ones, these are coming in dynamically. So anything that shows up under blocks, it automatically is generating one of these voice commands for. It's kind of neat. Now you have to know what the names of them are. It has issues. I'm not saying it's perfect. So let's play with some of these and see just how accurate this thing still is. And by still, I mean, this was wired up in like 4 years ago and it still works just with all the refactoring we've ever done. Hey, worker.
Yeah, what do you want?
Worker, toggle menu. Worker, view page source. Worker, select active item. Worker, focus active item. Worker, select next item. None of those worked. And that's how accurate this has to be. I can't mute the microphone, you wouldn't hear me. So here we go. It's actually worker, focus next element. Worker, focus previous element. Worker, write, this does work at times. Yes, I'm aware that it has some issues now and then, but overall, it's pretty stinking cool when it actually does work. It's type, not write. Of course it is. Worker, type, this is exactly what I wanted it to do, was to demonstrate how difficult it is to build a voice UI, yet at the same time, it's pretty easy to trigger one into existence and have it tied to functionality in the DOM. Worker next item. Worker select next element. Select next element. Focus next element. Focus next element. Insert block quote. Insert accent card. Insert accessible GIF. Insert basic iframe. Worker, scroll down. Scroll down. Scroll down. Focus next element. Insert accent card. Insert HAX logo. Insert license. Insert markdown. Scroll down. Type, this is what I wanted it to do.
I'm sorry, but I can only type in text areas. Try saying insert paragraph and try again.
Insert paragraph. Focus active element. Focus previous element. Insert paragraph. Type, this is the way the world burns. Insert meme. Insert grid layout. Scroll down. Scroll down. Insert grid layout. Insert QR code. Insert Twitter embed. Now your name is Shoes.
I used to be named Worker, but you can call me Shoes now.
Select blocks. Select edit. Select media. Select source. Select structure. Select settings. Select structure. So, disabling the voice control system, you can see kind of what this data that is. It needs someone dedicated to just think through what the UX is related to these voice commands. You may say to yourself, this is just an interesting demo and has absolutely no purpose whatsoever. However, if it was expressive enough that I could go and just like say a few things and search YouTube with my voice, I think it'd be a little more interesting than an impressive demo. Anyway, this is one of the many weird things we're working on in HAX the Webland. This one much more passively. This is like a pet project. We don't have an actual use case for this yet, but if you can think of some research you could do around this methodology or how we could build voice-based interfaces for the web that work outside of HAX. I mean, it's web components driven. It's basically just reading off some attribute data in the DOM and formulating what to click on. So it's pretty, it can do other things too, obviously, with like the inserting content. But if you want to learn more about our projects, you can go to hackstheweb.org or bit.ly/HAXSLACK. That's HackSlack. Enjoy the weekend.